Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. You know, it really makes our day when you call in and you have these conversations with us. You support all of our expert contributors. We greatly appreciate that. And we got Michael, MD, coming up here in just a moment. Massive IT. We're going to talk about things happening in the tech space. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate properties as part of our strategy to help sellers sell faster for more money. 605 Monterey Avenue. This is in Clearwater. And we've got a beautiful single-family home here in Tampa Bay, a great floor plan. And you walk through the home, and you've got just a gorgeous open floor plan layout. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2163 square feet. This is a non-flood zone, and we've got a beautiful home here with a private pool, screened-in pool, and a updated kitchen. Beautiful, beautiful home here in Tampa Bay. And another one of our hot listings is 3413 Lake Palermo Road. This one's in Waimama. We service, 7 or 8 counties around Tampa Bay. So this is one of our properties in South Hillsborough County, over East Hillsborough County. 3413 Lake Palermo Road. This one's 3734 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, Mediterranean-style home in a gated community. Beautiful home for sale, Lake Palermo Road in Waimama, Florida. And it's an executive-style home, just a great property. Private pool, screened-in pool as well. And you got a hot tub and an outdoor kitchen. And you can see all of our real estate listings, PlatinumCoastalElite.com. That's PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Michael, MD, Massive IT. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Excellent. Blessed and highly favored, man. Yourself?
Doing well, doing well.
Awesome. Good to hear it. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in the tech space, man. It seems like this is an area that just constantly evolves. There's so much going on. We had the big news in AI, several weeks ago now, but, some of the big founders and players in that industry saying, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's pull back. AI is a scary, potential area for what could happen.
Yeah, Elon's been saying that from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's starting to realize the power, the capabilities. And, there's robots. You've seen them on YouTube and on TV, the ones that do backflips and front flips, and they can't knock them down and all those sorts of things. And now you start to empower them with artificial intelligence.
Right.
And I think everybody's starting to connect the dots and see what can happen and what could be. And, hey, wait a minute, let's pump the brakes a little bit and back up. Let's reevaluate.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in one of the last interviews I saw with Elon, with Tucker, he had mentioned he's going to start his own brand of, what was it, artificial intelligence or...
Yeah, that's right. He's starting his own brand, and he's trying to influence, a steward of technology, trying to influence a direction, trying to bring awareness, showing us what can be done, and not necessarily from a corporate mentality of let's build a product, let's get it to market, and let's maximize profits.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think that's a large part of what's wrong with America right now is this whole idea of, corporations and maximizing profit and, offshoring jobs, taking this to jobs overseas, these multinational corporations,
Yeah, we need to take a look at bringing things back in-house, back into the U.S., building our factories, building our systems, these wafer fabrication, semiconductor plants. It takes what, 10 years to build one?
Does it really? Wow.
Yeah. In order to have the clean facilities, in order to do the manufacturing, it takes 10 years. And we can't just chop that off one day and our trade and our relationships with other countries and things like that and expect to be self-sufficient.
Right. Yeah, there's a big bubble happening over there by Taiwan. I think something major could happen in the next, 12 to 18 months, something potential over there.
Yeah. Haven't they been building their own island and staffing it with planes and other troops and other things out there?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can mobilize, and there's a lot of resources that they can throw at these things.
Yeah, and it had huge economic impacts.
Right.
In supply chain, we think supply chain is bad now or was bad. It's still not great.
Right.
But it's better. But it's just a hair's drop away from, getting worse again and ripple effect across the world.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Those semiconductors, those precious metals, and those other components, right?
Plastics, glass, oil, everything that it takes. You forget what it takes to build a laptop, right?
Right.
It's not just little chips and things like that. It's all the raw materials that go into it.
Right.
The lithium, the silver, the copper, the gold, the glass, the plastics, and the oil to get it all there.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael, MD, in studio here. Massive IT, all things for technology. He can help you with your businesses, of course. And we're going to talk a little bit more about his company's offerings here on the other side of this break. More coming up with Michael in just a moment. And we want you to please follow us online. We'd love to connect with you. Let's connect on social and at CQB Show on Instagram, at Brandon Rhymes 1 as well. And of course, consumerqb.com, your number one resource for consumer advocacy in Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Michael Emdy coming up here. Massive IT in studio. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate properties and thank our sponsors as well. Ramin Kazami with Heights Soft Wash. He's a local pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. He does a great job on our real estate properties. HeightsSoftWash.com. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. HeightsSoftWash.com. And talk to Ramin. He's a friend of mine. Great guy. And all right, a couple of hot property listings for this segment. 3331 Gardenia Drive. This is in Hernando. This is a beautiful property on the beaches there. Hernando Beach Canal property at Gardenia Drive. 6 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4,500 square feet. Split floor plan. Bamboo flooring, vaulted ceilings, gorgeous spiral staircase. Two-story home in beautiful Hernando Beach, Florida. One of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team. All right, we got another property at 6400 46th Avenue North. This is unit number 101. 6400 46th Avenue. That's unit number 101. This is a property that we've got. It's 1,405 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, Kenneth City. So you got this one in Pinellas County. Spacious first floor condo with a lake view and a 55-plus community. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. That's PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, so we're talking tech here with Michael Emdy, and his company is Massive IT. Give us a little overview about your company, Michael.
We're a full-service IT company, so we can clean up your old servers that you have in the closet. We can modernize your company. If you want to put a fresh face on the front of it, new website, consolidate some domain names.
Nice.
Email, things like that. Are you managing multiple email addresses? We can help you with that. Get things moved over, secured, right? Security is the big thing right now.
Yeah.
And if you're not managing your passwords, in a secure way with something like LastPass or OnePass or something else that's comparable, then you really are setting yourself up for catastrophe. Right?
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Tell us about a story where you've had, a company have those issues and the amount of stress that it causes, right?
It's amazing. You think, that's something I got to do, that's something I got to fix, that's something I got to address, but we're busy selling, we're busy, servicing our business, doing our thing, and next thing you know, you're blindsided by it, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to do it on your schedule. They're not going to do it on a Monday or a Tuesday. They're going to do it in the middle of the night. They're going to do it on a Friday, something like the most inconvenient for you. And wire transfers are occurring. And emails are being intercepted. They're being modified. Your bookkeepers, your accountants, your finance departments, your accounting teams are being manipulated and put in a situation where they make a payment, right? That's hard on your employees. It's stressful. It's hard on you as a business. In some cases, it could bankrupt you, right? And if it's malware, ransomware, well, they'll wipe out your computers, your servers, all the data you have. It's inaccessible. Think tomorrow if you couldn't get to all of your spreadsheets, your Word documents, your pictures, your PDFs. What if you didn't have that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Could you still operate?
Right.
Could you still be in business? And how long would it take you to recover it? Can you recover it? Right? And these are the things that we can help you address. Put in the protections to prevent that in the first place with multi-factor authentication, with backups, with recovery, and things like that to keep you in business and protect you for not if, but when that happens.
Yeah, when that happens. And Michael Emdy, Massive IT is the website, right? MassiveIT.com?
That's correct.
MassiveIT.com. So one of the things, too, that people could look into is these insurances, right? There's different types of insurance today, but you got to be careful the way you fill out the applications, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's now riders for the insurance. They used to just build that into the policy, like, yeah, sure, we'll cover you for cyber incidents, no big deal. Well, they've been taken to the cleaners on time or two by big companies.
Wow.
And now they're saying, no, cyber insurance is now a rider, and you now have to qualify for cyber insurance. And to qualify for cyber insurance, you have to show that you have these minimum protections in place, that you have done the due diligence to protect yourself from a cyber incident, right? Things like that are password management, turning on multi-factor authentication. Do you have a password policy? Do you have documented written policies about what you're going to do if there's a problem?
Right.
In other words, what are you doing to limit your exposure?
Right.
Right. You just can't be wild and free and think we're going to pay the bill, when the time comes.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. And when you have these scenarios play out, I mean, it can be timely, not only time investment, but also they're literally saying, hey, we've got control of these documents, or we've actually controlled these machines, and then you've got to send them some kind of a Bitcoin payment, or how do they get paid? How do the criminals get paid?
Yeah, worst case scenario, they trick your finance team, your accounting team, your bookkeeper, depending on how big of a business you are, into sending a wire payment to them, in some way, shape, or form. So one, you've just sent a payment for some significant amount, $5,000, $10,000. We had one that was $544,000. And then once that happens, it's too late. They're in.
Wow.
And now they're harvesting all your data out of your computers, out of your OneDrive, out of your Google Cloud Drive, out of Dropbox, all of that information. They're gathering it all up. And by the time you find out about it and figure it out, it's too late.
Wow.
They have full control, and now they're at the end phase of their attack.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, well, we've encrypted everything you have. If you want it back, give us some more money.
Wow.
So you're really between a rock and a hard place when you get to that point. And they say transfer it via crypto, right? A Bitcoin address. They give you an address, and you could transfer the money. It's a 50-50 shot whether you're going to get anything out of it.
Exactly.
And chances are you're probably not.
Yeah.
Right? There are successful, recovery, money transfers, things like that. But you're never 100% sure that you're completely safe. And now you have a data breach that you have to expose to your customers, to your clients, to the authorities.
Wow.
And report it. What kind of brand reputation does that do?
Yeah.
Right? Damage to that brand, things like that. So it's far-reaching.
Wow. Yeah. We're talking with Michael Emdy, Massive IT, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Another great example of one of our local area business owners, expert contributor here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, from that consumer advocate approach. Of course, business owners, take heed to this advice. This is some really timely advice if you own a company, or even for your personal, home. If you're running a small company from home, he can remote into your computer and help you in a lot of cases. And then sometimes, of course, you might want to have a in-office interview, or a at your location interview with Michael Emdy. Now, Michael, going forward too, does this open up also artificial intelligence, kind of sticking with that same theme of them being able to get in and having specific programs written to just kind of go in and do this type of thing?
Yeah, it does. ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, whatever you want to call it, it's enabling them as much as it's enabling us, right?
Yeah.
We may be using it to write term papers in school. We may be using it to write marketing materials in a business. But guess what the attackers are doing? They're using it to write emails, build websites, create video, create images. The thing we've talked about in the past, where they're doing voice simulations.
The voice, yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's your loved one, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your mother, your father, whoever it is. It sounds like they're locked in a trunk and they're saying, help, get me out, pay the money, do this, do that.
Yeah.
It's again, far-reaching, and I sound like a broken record every time we talk about AI, but every day it keeps advancing and changing, and the attack vector, as they say in the industry, is new. There's just another way that they're coming at you and using this artificial intelligence technology against us.
Yeah, and I had a personal friend that posted on Facebook about it. She had that happen to her, and it was her daughter that received the phone call from her phone number. So it was like a spoof number or voice over IP, some kind of deal there. And it was that message exactly like, hey, yeah, pay them the money. They got the gun on me.
Help.
Pay him the money, help me. And what happened is, I was talking to my family about it, and I said, look, the only way that I could think of offhand was to create a safe word. What's the password then? And that's something that you and your family should, kind of hold near and have that that team huddle up and kind of make that plan, right?
Yeah, the old $25,000 pyramid. the password is.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Come up with that idea. And what other consumer tips would you have right now? I mean, it is an interesting time we live in, man. You know, you look at all these different threats we have as business owners.
I think it's about diligence, it's about education. You know, at every turn, when you're on your phone in a social media app, you're reading about things that are misdirection, about things that aren't necessarily the full truth, right? It's context that's missing a lot of times. Same thing in these attacks. Look at the email. You know, are you expecting this bill, this invoice, this person to email you with a link that they want you to click?
Right.
To do what? Right? What is it?
Yeah.
And you know, the sage advice of pick up the phone and call the credit card company and say, hey, you know, is there something you guys need me to do? You know, pay a bill? Is there a problem?
Right.
Things like that. Yeah. Right. You know, call the other person. If you sent me an email, I might text you or I might call you and say, hey, Brandon, did you send me this?
Yeah.
Is this real? Sort of thing, right? Yeah. We have to look out for what's happening and not just be so complacent and heads down doing what we're doing, which we all are.
Right.
But we have to pay attention. It's unfortunate, but it's the world we live in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Michael, always great catching up with you on that. MassiveIT.com. Check them out online, MassiveIT.com. And do you want them to connect in other places as well?
Yeah, give us a call, 813-518-5454.
Repeat.
813-518-5454.
All right, good stuff. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, taking a quick break. Coming back, Fred Muth, a.k.a. the Tin Man, Tampa Screens and Aluminum on the Consumer Quarterback Show, one of our longest-standing expert contributors on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've been on air almost 10 years now, and Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, has been there the majority of the time, so we appreciate that. Fred Muth coming up here. We're going to talk with our contractor expert contributor, Fred Muth, about supply chains, labor force, permitting, and other features in that contracting industry. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.